everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You are a part of history tonight. Whether there is just us three and those that are already in the chat room have been there for an hour, uh, we have really done something. Hold on one second. I have the echo in my ear, which is gone now. So, how are you? Let me introduce our panel. And before I introduce everyone, by the way, there's 17 people already here, 18. We've had some people that have suddenly come down with this virus, flu, whatever it is. Trisha G, I know you're in bed. I hope you're asleep. Um, she came down with this. Jennifer Collins, uh, she is really hurting in a bad way.
Oh boy.
She is in bed watching this.
I'll
Um,
better.
and Jeff had where he could not come. Uh, Rex Bear will be here at quarter after the hour. And we have Sandra Dee. Sandra, how are you?
I'm well, thank you. Getting well.
She's fighting it too. And we have Sue on the other end of that screen. How are you, Sue? Can you hear me? Sue, can you hear
Hi,
me?
I'm good. Thank you.
Okay.
No, I'm not sick here.
Okay, good. Well, we've got 63 into the room and counting. So Violet should be joining us. I'm looking as I go. So I'm trying to watch this. And y'all are, can you see the chat room as well?
You know, I don't have the chat pulled up yet. I have a comment from one of my subscribers in front of me that I wanted to hopefully find the opportunity to share.
Well, let's talk about it now.
Okay, it has to do with the mirror experiment. So I had posted a video earlier, as you know, and one of my subscribers, Michelle, I'm going to do my very best not to butcher this name and a lot of the language that she uses because it's Hindu. So
Okay.
I'll do my best for pronunciation. So Michelle Valakio, and she says, "You are a very mature thinker, nice video. Regarding the mirror exercise, you are correct about the benefits of at least looking at oneself in the eyes in the mirror for this purpose. I do a detailed process that I took a course on and studied from my Swami, a process called completion that involves the mirror. The originator of the completion process is Sri Paramahamsa Nityananda. Disciples and devotees call him Swami or even Mahadeva. You guys are nearly doing this completion process, but completion is heavily detailed and very particular to dig the issues out by the root daily. It is like peeling an onion. Layers of things start to come up to complete with. It is a critical part of Sanatana Hindu Dharma, as prescribed by Swami. I think it is interesting that this community is nearly doing completion. I will watch the video since I already do completion daily. I will concentrate the highest good to all."
Wow.
Wow is right, right?
Wow.
I mean, I certainly did not know all of that. And I'm so intrigued that I'm going to do some of my own research and reading on it. But I thought that was really important to share. And
Yes.
and even just that and thank you, Michelle, for holding the highest intention for all of us, because I think that's important too. I know you had said you've gotten basically two different types of emails.
Yes.
People that are a little what's the word I'm looking for?
Well, let's just be honest. Afraid of it. Very fearful.
Yeah.
Very fearful. Yeah.
Yep. So I thought that was nice.
Yeah. Well, you know, number one, it's a compliment to everyone that has been, it's a part of this community. Everyone that's in the chat room, everyone that's coming on here. It speaks of the maturity. How interesting of the choice of her words, completion.
Yeah. I believe that's what the practice that she studies, they call it. My understanding is that that's what it's called. It's called the process of completion. So I'm interested to look into that further.
Well, I was meditating before we came in, just to get everything quieted down. And the most brilliant image came into my mind's eye was this brilliant light. But here's the thing, Sue, and this is the thing as well, Sandra, it wasn't white. It was a light that I knew it was light, but it wasn't the typical light that you would think, of the glowing star.
What color? Was it a color? Was there any color involved?
It was very interesting. I could sense the color, but I couldn't actually define it.
Wow.
Is that weird?
That's interesting. Yeah, that is
interesting.
Yeah. So anyway, and I think that that's what's going to happen here. So you have some notes. I want to give you an introduction to the group. People haven't met you, but Sue has been a friend and supporter for a long time, and thank you for being a part of this project. And as a project, I just want to make everyone aware, this is not the end. As we get better at this, we're going to continue to do this. I believe, ladies, that this will only continue to grow. There's 150 people in here now.
Excellent. Yeah, I said to a girlfriend earlier, Wayne, that this was going to become part of my spiritual ritual every day. So I agree. It can grow for sure.
Do you know that, Sue, and I'll let you have this here, but I wanted to make real quick that I read in some places it's a cleansing. I had never really thought about that before, but when you look inward, it is a cleansing. So, Sue, let me turn it over to you.
The thing about the whole exercise, it is what you make of it. So the important aspect of it is to set your intention before you even get into it, so that the direction that you want to go. If you want it to be a cleansing, if what you want to see. I mean, I personally approached it as always as a self-awareness project, and that's all I'm interested in. So that's always my intention. Someone said recently, and I don't remember if it was you, Wayne, or not, but the eyes are not receptors, they're reflectors. So, they're reflecting.
I wish I did say that.
That's
they're
all right. I took that seriously. I put that thought into whoever said that. That's beautiful. The eyes are not.
I'm sorry, I can't give credit.
Well,
that's right.
That is beautiful. Can you say that again? That is just so cool.
Yes. And I wish I could credit the person, and I know I heard it on YouTube, but I do not remember who it was. But they said the eyes are not receptors, they are reflectors. So you are taking in stimuli and you are interpreting it. It filters through it's reflecting back to you how you see the world.
Absolutely. That's brilliant. I love that.
Yeah, it is brilliant.
So
yeah, that's my whole thought process around this. And the kind of the rest of it is, as long as you're centered in yourself and grounded, and hopefully the little meditation we run will accomplish that. I think it can be a fabulous experience.
It can be. And I think that one of the things that I found in this and doing the research, I put out a video today, kind of get everyone kind of in tune to what really we're talking about here. Number one, yes, in pagan practices that go back thousands of years, when they didn't have glass or mirror that we can actually see it today, they shined rocks, crystals. I never realized this is where crystal balls came from. And the ancient thought is that why it was so powerful is that you were seeing beyond this. Wow. And it was considered, I read particularly, that the gods were the only ones who could see their souls. I went, now that's cool. You think about it. So
we'll all be gods tonight.
And I think we are. Listen, I said in the video, we're braced in the indoctrination of this, but it says it's your image. So in the Western world, with mostly where Christian is the foundation of most faiths, we're created in God's image. And that means I have an image. And I think that that is Rex that is joining us. So it's very interesting to see what we're talking about. Sandra,
Yes.
the lady who wrote that, what was she saying? It's like peeling back
Layers of an onion.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that makes me think of how we're multi-dimensional beings. To me, that's what that is. And I know that from my own personal experience over the last 2.5 years, because when we think we see something, so I saw something in someone else the other day that they were acting out of guilt. And I had a discussion around that. And then I started to ask myself, okay, well, where am I acting out of guilt? Because it's a frequency thing. So and the reflectors and the mirror, it's all the same. So what we see in someone else has to be active within our own vibration. So, and it reminds me of the onion and the layers, because it's like we think that we want to project that person's acting out of guilt, and that may be the case, and it probably is, but it also means you're acting out of guilt too somewhere. So, you start to peel away the onion. So I resonate with that, the layers of the onion, so much. I mean, that's every day for me.
I agree. Sue, you were going to say something?
Well, but it's kind of a little bit off topic. I wanted to cover the bit that we were talking about earlier, the gematria, and I don't know if
let's do that, please. It's perfect on this.
Sandra's on a flow here.
No, perfect.
So I am a student I'll call it a student of gematria, because you can never study it enough. And I think probably most people know what it is, but if not, it's an alphanumeric code, and you take numbers and you assign them to a letter. So like you can start with, there's one code that starts A is 1, B is 2, 3, and all the way through 26. The Pythagoras code actually is 1 through 9, like regular numerology. So every, you start 1 through 9. I think letter I is the 9.
Did we lose Sue?
I think so.
Sue, I think Rex, are you on?
Hey, what's happening?
Hey, Rex Bear, the man. How are you doing?
I think fantastic. Thanks for having me on.
All right. Do you have video, or is that something I need to do on my end?
Yes, I think so.
Got video. Love it. Yeah. Sue, are you here? Yes. Yes.
Can you hear me?
You were kind of like my cell phone.
Yeah. What? Like, it turned itself it went to mute all by itself. I didn't touch it. So I don't know. I don't know what that was. But anyway, okay. So can I go on? Hi,
yes.
Rex. I'm sorry. I interrupted your grand entrance. So I ran the word mirror awareness in gematria code. And I came up with the numbers in several different ciphers of 79, 97, and 101. They were the most interesting of the numbers and the 101 to me is kind of self-explanatory, where, what does 101 look like? You take the 0 out and it's 11, and today's date is the 11th. But the really, really cool part was I put Wayne's name in, R. Wayne Steiger. And guess what? It summed to 79. I'm like, oh my gosh, what a synchronicity that is. And then I typed in the word synchronicity, and it summed to 79. I typed in the word light, and it summed to 79. High vibration, it summed to 79. And then I started working with the names of the people who are going to be in here. And Jennifer Collins, who was going to be here, Collins sums to 79. Trisha G sums to 79. My full name, Susan Gallardi, sums to 79. And Violet, who's not here yet, but I think she's coming, right? That's all those phrases sum to 79. And I was just blown away, because if you think about 7 and 9 in the numerology, 7 is the truth seeker number, the hidden and opening the unknown. And then 9 is wisdom and spirituality and kind of mystical knowledge. I'm like, oh, this is just fantastic.
And what were you saying the 44 was, Sue?
44. The word that I was working with earlier before I started into this was guidance, and guidance, excuse me, sums to 44. The word mirror sums to 44. Your name, Sandra Dee, summed to 44. And actually, Rex Bear sums to 44. So you guys got the four energy going.
Oh, are we
Jillian's
seeing?
did it.
I don't know. Is this kind of like true synchronicity? I mean, Rex, Sue, that is remarkable. I counted 5 79s, 5. You just gave 4 44s.
Yeah.
There are actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are 9 79s, Wayne.
9 79s. Excuse me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 9.
Well, Rex, what do you think?
That's a lot of 79s, man. I mean,
9 of them.
what does it mean?
Listen, I just did a video on
Was that 395? Is that what it means? Sorry, go ahead.
Well, 9 is a universal cosmic number. It's apparently the Orions, the EBEs that they say came here. 9 is the universal number that they build everything around. Sue, and what does it mean in numerology on how you practice it?
First of all, in gematria, what you look for when you start running numbers on things are these patterns, because basically, and they think gematria. A lot of people think it stems from the Jewish religion, but it sources all the way back to the original written word. But what it's telling you about the word is, basically the vibration that word draws to. So you're working with the frequencies and the energy of the universal matrix code, right? The universe is numbers. So what the numbers tell you are the synchronicities, and where you see them, you're getting confirmation, and what energy you're working in. So like in this case, the 7, like I said, is exploring what's hidden, seeking truth, understanding the underlying issues. That's the 7 energy. And then the 9 energy is wisdom, spirituality, mystical knowledge. I wish Trish G was here, because I'm sure she could do much better with the numerology aspect than I can.
Yeah, Rex, we had a number of our panelists that come down with this nasty little bug from shore to shore to the other shore. Well, I got to tell you what, Sue, you got to do a reading for me. Seriously,
I would love to. I told you I'd be happy to do it. Okay,
because this is
anytime.
All right, well, we'll do that. I mean, I just, I come from a software background, and when I see random numbers start coming up into a sequence, that to me is saying, okay, time out.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's exactly right. Yeah.
Well, if nothing else, it certainly says that is the frequency here. There's, especially where all of our names matched up. I find that peculiar.
Wow. That's so, because y'all on the bottom, Rex, you are next to Sandra. Sue, you're next to me. So we got the 244s down below, and we got the 279s on top. I mean, the math is just crazy, folks. That's all I got to say. It's crazy.
Hello. I mean, the way you bring up those numbers, Wayne, I'm telling you, man, we're in some kind of matrix or something like that. I'm imagining this quantum computer setup that's like plugging in these. Okay, so check it out. I got to just throw this out here real quick, and then this is totally off topic, but it all also connects with what you're all talking about in a sense. Not really, but so I, for the first time, see, way off topic, this is a pattern interrupt because you're talking about numbers. So I'm going to throw a different number out there real quick. Rick and Morty or something like that. It's this just crazy cartoon. I finally watched because everybody's been telling me to watch it. So I watched season 1, episode 8 last night, and it was epic. And before I started watching, I imagined this like pixel, and we're in this like software program where basically there's one pixel that can manifest anything in front of us. So when we turn on the television or just when we open our eyes, it's just one pixel bouncing around so quick that it's making the screen that we're imagining. Therefore, we are in a machine, if that makes any sense. Hello, tinfoil hat time, baby. That's what I'm talking about. What are the radiation levels again?
I mean, seriously, I need to get my titanium hat because, and Heidi was to join us as well. And just to let Heidi, she had a reading, so she couldn't make it in on this. So, I mean, swear.
Heidi's a 44 energy also, by the way. Her name's summed to 44.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Rock stars.
yeah.
Just saying. We're awesome.
Well, you see, that's why I wore this shirt here. So, I've been tested, so I'm not insane. I got the test. I want to let everyone know.
So great.
What kind of test is that, Wayne?
Well, it's the one that they ask you if you're the best thing I can tell you. Listen to Aunt Alice's Restaurant. That'll give you the full test. Well, so we have a filled up room. Rex, let me just get your take on what we're planning to do here. What do you see it from your perspective, this mirror? Because I've done the research and it is strong magic. It is. It's used. It's used as okay, this is what I found about DARPA. They've done research into mirror gazing as opening portals. They believe that there is this thought that there is a reverse universe, parallel universe of ours out there, right? That mirror gazing can actually open something like a wormhole to project to the other side. So anyway, it's kind of really weird. And it's used as a means of communicating with the dead. So there you go. I'll turn it over to you, my friend.
Wow. Okay. So according to some of the ancient hermetics, like, for example, I've got a book by Franz Barden where some of his later teachings, he discusses mirrors and how to basically put energy into them to where you can use them as a portal like you're discussing. So I wouldn't be surprised if DARPA or certain technology, certain factions of the military are using maybe people that are more in tune to psychic intuition and such, being able to use different parts of their mind better than others, just based upon being, their genetics or whatever. So I think it's fascinating. And also I do agree with that. And I've talked to people that actually use scrying as a technique to see into the future. And, another thing too, remember I don't know if you all ever played this when you were a kid. I did. It was called Bloody Mary, where you'd go in the bathroom and you'd sprinkle water on the mirror and you go, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary. And you'd think that you'd see this like blood. Did y'all play that game? You know what I'm talking about?
I've heard it, but never played it.
Okay. So, and anyway, and I never saw Bloody Mary storyline behind Bloody Mary. So maybe there is some type of like portal there. I mean, there very well could be. The ancients certainly thought so. People that study magic and mysticism and mind over matter certainly do. And if people are putting big money into it in the defense industries, then sure, why not? I mean,
Disney.
I've heard of crazier things. I mean, do you watch Leap Project?
I'll tell you, I'm more better crazy for it. Well, Walt Disney, I did not know this, but remember the scene in The Matrix where Neo is hitting the mirror? Remember that? We all seen that? They didn't come up with that. Disney came up with that. Nearly 50 years before The Matrix was ever filmed or thought about. Disney was a 33-degree Mason. So there must be something here to this.
I'm just going to pull out some information while you're all discussing.
Okay. All right.
Mirrors.
So Sandra, what are you thinking here now?
I'm excited to get started.
Okay. We have 200.
I will say, just as a reminder, because I know you said earlier when we started that, let's just call it what it is. Some people are afraid of this experiment. So I would guide people to listen to their inner voice. And if something's telling them not to participate, then listen to that. Otherwise, have fun with it and stay grounded. So, for example, I was playing around with it again. Like I told you, I've made this part of my daily spiritual ritual now. I live my life looking at the outside world as a mirror. So I thought, why not add this to my practice? And with this cold that I'm holding on to or whatever, it was interesting because a few days ago, I stared at myself for about 3 minutes and my eyes turned to cat eyes. And then today I stared at myself for 3 minutes and the eyelids and underneath my eyes started to turn black. So I recognized that right away as I'm seeing my illness. I'm seeing the sickness within my body. So let's just try to keep it logical too. It doesn't have to be crazy. Stay grounded with it and have fun with it.
I agree. Sue?
If I saw my eyes turn black in a mirror, that'd kind of freak me out, though. I'm just saying. I'd be like, damn it. It's taking over the board, man.
The thing is it's self-awareness too, because I know I'm not demonic, so I'm not afraid of, I recognize, okay, there's not a demonic being inside of me. That's probably my virus or whatever it is that my body's holding on to, so it's all good. So I think a lot of it is self-awareness too.
It's stages.
You know yourself before you get into something like this.
So I forget which philosopher who said this, when he said, looking into the mirror, what you should see is darkness, because none of us know what our souls look like. We see that face. I mean, I got 4 beautiful faces here. Yeah, we got beautiful faces. But that's how we recognize each other. But if the biomass came off, what would Rex Bear look like? What would Sue G look like?
Yeah.
I mean, I got to get that hat. I swear to God. I mean, I can't meditate. That is like
$1 million. But hey, so check it out. I got to throw in real quick the practice of clairvoyance with magic mirrors. You asked for it. So here we go. There are 2 types of magic mirrors. There's optic mirrors. The second type is a one which is prepared with fluid condensers. And if you get into different types of fluid condensers, ladies and gentlemen, hello, that's a trip in and of itself. But this is like high level stuff right here. And to really use a mirror as a form of connecting to other entities or dimensions or finding what's in yourself, like I can't actually, the reason I have this hat on is because there's these horns that keep growing. And I look in the mirror and it's like, dude, it's freaking me out, man. I go into a church and I start to get really hot. It's bizarre. I can't explain it. I'm just saying, but no, I'm just kidding. I was on Pastor Paul Begley's show the other day, and I love that guy. He is such a cool dude. And, I'm not judging, man. I think everybody has a right to think for themselves. If everybody thought the same, we would literally be in the Borg. But, dude, I'm telling you, these magic mirrors, it's a trip, man. The info. Are my horns showing? I'm sorry.
I love it.
Rex, do you have a mirror? Do you have your mirror handy there that you're going to use?
Well, according to people on the internet, I'm just a hologram. I'm not even really here. And I'm a Jesuit shape-shifting reptilian from a different dimension that's actually just holographically projecting myself here. So I don't have any mirrors, because if I did, you wouldn't be able to see me anyway. So it's crazy. Sorry. The way that it is.
I've been watching the energy in the chat room, and I got to tell you, folks, it is so positive. I mean,
that's good.
Just again, I just want to say, everyone, thank you in the chat room. We keep on saying that every guest that comes on keeps saying that this is one of the most mature audiences that's out there. Very kind. So the question.
And then I showed up.
No, the energy is priceless. That's all I got to say. It's priceless. All right. So the thing is how we're going to do this. Do we want to get people?
Okay, Wayne.
Yes. Go ahead, Sue.
Just real quick, I want to go over, before you get started, just a couple things that I would suggest.
Okay.
If you wear contacts, I wear contacts and cannot do it with my contacts in. I would take out your contacts. And I can't really speak to glasses, but I would think the same thing. I don't know if you've tried it yet, Wayne. But so I would remove those. And then if it might be good to have a pen and paper handy if you have anything interesting come up, and write it down, because we would all love to hear after it's done what people's experiences were, what kind of cool things happened. And the other thing is, if anyone hasn't done it before, I find for some people that it helps to focus on one eye or the other eye. I usually focus on this one because my hair gets in the way, and not shift from one to the other, because it kind of breaks the flow. So that way you can just kind of let the experience happen.
Yeah, and I just want to remind everyone, we're making history here. I have scoured the net today, and I cannot find any place on the net where a group of people have come and used mirror gazing as a collective project and to see what's going to happen. I'm very curious to see what is going to happen. Sandra, what anything, I'm thinking about the point, should we just let people to relax? They seem to be pretty much ready to go. Do you want to go ahead? I was thinking about this a minute ago, and I'll just put it to the panel. Should we do a first time and just let everyone go into it, and let's see what happens, and then get some meditative music going, and then see what the second time looks like?
I like it. Sure.
I do too. Yeah.
What do you think, Rex?
Hello.
I'm daring, so I mean, this is fun. I'm for it. Yeah.
Rex, are you looking at the chat room?
Maybe.
Okay, yeah. Good. Well,
I'm doing my best, but it's going pretty quick, and
It is. All right. Yes. So I've got a timer.
Also.
3 minutes. And what I agree. So my glasses will be coming off, because this is how I do it in the morning. Is typically I will wake up in the morning after I've gone through and I've walked outside. I come in and say, all right, so we'll do 3 minutes and let's just see what happens collectively here. I mean, the best thing I was told to do is that make it a clean slate. Just clear it off, clear the mind if it's possible. So let's just do this.
Can vampires get a reflection if they look in the mirror?
I guess the question, do vampires have souls?
No.
Come on, man. That's cold.
It is cold.
And my question is, do holograms have souls?
Ooh.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes, they do. Some of them.
Okay.
Well, Rex,
code.
Tomorrow, Dr. Richard Miller's coming on again.
I love that guy.
Yeah, he's
brilliant. You got to keep him on track. He's brilliant. You just have to keep him on track. Absolutely brilliant.
Fun.
Did he tell you the story about Timothy Leary?
Yes, he did.
Him and Timothy Leary took acid together.
I'm jealous.
The government just wanted to see what would happen if they dosed really bright people. I'm not exaggerating. They're like, let's see, that guy's got an IQ 170. What do we do with him? Let's give him some acid. True story. Ask him about it. It's crazy. They love us. That's why they do it.
That's what it is. I mean, there's no doubt they're watching this group of brilliant people. They're going, really? Well, all right. History in the making. Let's just kind of take a deep breath here. And in 3, 2, 1, let's go. All right. Wow. Holy cow, Batman.
Wow.
Woo! I have got to tell you, that was amazing. Wow.
Excuse me.
Wow.
Hmm.
All right, I'll be the first one to talk.
Yes.
And if I was making a sworn testimony before court on a sworn document, this is what my testimony is. Seriously, I saw my eye open up right here.
Wow. I'm
Right
jealous.
Right there. I've never had that happen before, and it got so intense that when I would blink, no,
Oh my God.
I have entered into another universe. It happened. I actually went and I transferred to the other side.
Rex, you are exactly what this panel needed. Your element tonight is perfect. It's so great.
Okay, that's all I gotta say. You know, it's powerful magic.
What happened?
I don't know how you did that. I don't know how that happened.
What just happened?
Well, I gotta say, it's not reptilians. It's not reptilians at all. No, I seen your heritage and your ancestry. Dude.
Oh man, did I just shapeshift?
Yeah, but listen, it happened. I mean,
oh my gosh, it's crazy. Dude, I didn't eat enough McDonald's today, so I didn't get enough of that, Soylent Green. Crazy.
That's a powerful mirror right there.
Yeah.
So, I tell you, this is what I love about life. This is what I love about this energy in this community. Rex, man, I just give you a big hug, dude, man. I mean, that's just, but seriously.
Genius.
What is that behind you?
I don't know what that is behind me. That's crazy.
That?
It's like a horse or something.
Well, I was looking at that. I was going, do you got a freaking lion in there or what?
What in the hell? I don't have any idea. Some shapeshifting in here. It's crazy. I don't know, man. It's bizarre.
So anyway, that's what I saw. Ladies, help me. Let's talk about this. What did you experience?
I saw my eyes change colors, and my eyes are hazel, and this time the eye got very very gold, and it was like it was coming out of my towards the mirror, like a 3D type of thing. And as otherwise, the eye, I tend to see colors. I saw some colors in the eye, a little bit of a white light color on one side of it. And then just after the experience ended, I feel very, very centered, very grounded and centered.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to give you a reference. And Sue, yeah. Go ahead. I mean, Sandra.
So I saw a little bit more, I would say more of the same from what I saw earlier today, the darkness around my eyes. And interestingly enough, this side of my face, I'm going to use this term because it's what's coming to mind. It wanted to morph into something else. There was a lot of darkness right here on my forehead and into my cheek. And it did want to change, but I stopped it from changing because my eyes were getting watery and I didn't want my eyes to water and my mascara to run. So, but it did start to change into something here. Like my real face, the face of Sandra, is diminishing and something wants to appear in front of that. I just haven't breached beyond that veil yet, but I'm almost there.
Interesting. Elizabeth saw the same thing I happened. So what I saw was literally, you're right. You have to be focusing on one eye or the other. And as I was focusing in on my right eye, the next thing I know, it was a most amazing thing. I mean, I've never seen this before. And the thing about when I would blink, I could see this brilliant orange color above my eyelid as I was blinking. That's weird. Well,
Yeah.
we got a lot of people.
I want to say real quick, Wayne.
They do. Yeah, Sue.
It's very normal for there to be absolutely nothing. That's not, it's not unusual to have had nothing happen. I've had that experience before. We didn't really go for very long. I've just seen in the chat room that some people are saying they had nothing happen, and some people, you know, their whole face blurred out. You know, everything that I've seen that everyone is experiencing in the chat room is entirely normal.
Rex, what do you think?
I think it's fascinating what you're talking about. And it makes me think about a Kirlian photograph that I had taken a few weeks ago, where you could see the different colors coming out of my, like the aura. And I remember, if I go back a little over a year ago, I even did a podcast on this. I had an image taken where it showed and it was just one color. It was this very dark burgundy. And it was boom. And really look at the different colors and stuff like that. It's pretty cool color. But most people's auras, if you look at a Kirlian camera, you're going to see a whole bunch of different colors and stuff like that. And what you're talking about, looking in the mirror, maybe you were seeing a different aura, a different energy or something like that. Orange represents some pretty cool features. So maybe that's, if you look up orange and aura and where you saw that, that would probably represent, you know, give you a pretty good idea of the energies that you're emanating right now.
I gotta tell you, man, I love you, dude. That's just, I gotta, you know,
the happens me.
Yeah, it's like my dog is looking over here going, what are you talking about? But so I sense that.
I don't know what I mean. I don't even know what I'm talking about. How would your dog know what I'm talking about?
She's over here. Well, she's tuned in. So I'm just reading.
It's a smart dog. I'm just saying.
Hey, listen, I tested her IQ. I want to get back to what you said, Sandra, earlier when you read the email again, that this was
the comment.
Yeah. And Rex, I don't know if you were here.
I don't think he was.
Listen to this, Rex. Read this again about completion.
Okay, so this is from one of my subscribers, Rex, Michelle Valacchio. And as I said before, I'll do my best not to butcher that.
Pretty cool YouTube channel, by the way. I just subscribed to it.
Oh, thanks, Rex. Thank you. So here's what Michelle said, and she's in the chat. So hi, Michelle, and thank you so much for this information. Regarding the mirror exercise, you are correct about the benefits of at least looking oneself in the eye in the mirror for this purpose. I do a detailed process that I took a course on and studied from my Swami, a process called completion that involves the mirror. The originator of the completion process is Sri Paramahamsa Nithyananda. Disciples and devotees call him Swami or even Mahadeva. You guys are nearly doing the completion process, but completion is heavily detailed and very particular to dig the issues out by the root daily. It is like peeling an onion. Layers of things start to come up to complete with. It is a critical part of Sanatana Hindu Dharma, as prescribed by Swami. I think it is interesting that this community is nearly doing completion. I will watch the video since I already do completion. I will concentrate the highest good to all. So there you have it. Thank you again, Michelle. And I'm going to certainly look into that myself because I find that very interesting. The completion process. I had not heard of it before. Do we lose Rex? And oh, there we go. And Wayne. So have you heard of the completion process, Rex?
Not in that term, but I think it's fascinating you bringing up some of those names, and it is, you know, some of those names kind of they're changed throughout scriptures, but the same characters, the same archetypes, I feel, are presented. And this completion process that you talk about, there's there's probably multiple layers as well. You complete one cycle, you go to the next. I would hope that there is never a full completion, because if you look at it that way, then gee, what's the fun? You get to the very end, you're done. There's nothing left. So I do find it fascinating.
Yeah.
Did we lose Rex?
Did we lose Wayne? Oh, there you are.
No, I had to let the dog out. She was like,
who let the dog out?
Well, I have an office, so she was like all of a sudden just antsy. Weird. So there's a lot of energy here. You can really sense it. That I just got to tell you, folks, I don't know about this, but I feel particularly a strange energy. It's very interesting. It was a great experiment. We got to do that again.
Yeah, let's do it with the music.
All right. So, Rex, you're going to sing, right?
Yeah. And they will unsubscribe from your channel and never talk to you again. What did you say?
I said, can you sing in 528 hertz, though, please?
I'm sorry, folks. I had this mental image of Rex Bear
660.
Rex Bear singing songs to meditate to the next round by. I could just see this. Sue, you're laughing.
Oh boy.
Oh, Rex.
Like, fingernails on a chalkboard.
Hey, listen. All right. So let me see if I can actually pull this up to where people can hear this. So give me 1 second and let me see. Can you hear that? No one heard anything, did they? Okay. All right. Let's try this way.
With crypto truth seekers.
Do you hear that?
Sorry I couldn't be with you tonight.
Okay. Everyone can hear that? Good.
Yeah.
All right. So let's just listen to what Jennifer, she recorded this earlier. Thank you, Jennifer Collins.
If you could all just sit there and relax. I'm going to lead you through a meditation. And at the end of it, you will be looking at yourself in the mirror for about 3 minutes. So just close your eyes right now and picture a beautiful green, lush meadow. And there is a huge oak tree. And next to the oak tree is a very calm river. Take your shoes off and begin to feel the earth and the grass, and walk over to the oak tree. And as you approach it, you will see a
You can't hear it now.
are blowing and swaying from a very gentle wind. And you will see in between the leaves shimmering, glittering sparkles of sunlight. Now, relax every part of your body, every muscle. And the sun, you feel the heat of the sun on your face. And a gentle breeze as you begin to rock and relax and float down the river. And you come to an area where the boat gently floats over to the bank and docks. You sit up, you get out of the boat, you feel the sand under your feet. And as you look up, you see an oak mirror, beautiful oak mirror, 10 feet in front of you. And as each step you take, and we count from 10 to 1, when we get to 1, you will open your eyes, literally, and look at yourself, your first love, in the mirror. Step 10, 9, and again, another step, 8, and once again, 7, and yet another step, 6, 5, 4, you're getting closer to the mirror, 3, in anticipation of seeing yourself for the first time in a deep, inspirational way, 2, and 1. Now open your eyes and look at yourself without moving and without speaking for the next 3 minutes.
Okay, here we go. Phase 2. Well, there we go. Wow, that is just okay. Wow. All right. Wow, that's never happened before. Okay. Any difference? Who do we lose? I think we lost Rex. Did we lose
Waiting for
Rex?
new math.
Yeah.
No, man, I'm still
Oh,
here.
okay. All right. Wow, that was weird. I just got to tell you, that was just flat weird. Wow. That's all I got to say.
The mirror technology almost put me into like this weird portal. It was like seventh.
You know, they talk about a third eye. And I listen. I've been in touch with a psychologist, PhD, and there is substantial evidence of this third eye. I mean, that we apparently have. Anyway, it's becoming very interesting, particularly when I started getting used to it and staring into it. You know what I saw? That slit in the iris. It was almost like a pathway you could see if you really wanted to start walking into it.
Wow.
All right, Sue.
This was really fascinating. I had a totally different experience. Instead of my left eye, I did my right eye, which I usually do my left eye, and my whole experience was more in the body, and it was an emotional experience. And I went through several different layers of emotion. It started with kind of anger and frustration at first, and then slowly that passed, and I moved into a more neutral energy. And then by the time I was, the 3 minutes was up, I was basically into high energy and kind of a joyful space. It was really fascinating.
I threw myself a kiss. I really did.
Yeah.
When I heard the thing, it was like, man, love you, dude.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Sandra.
Well, my experience was very similar the first time. It wants to show me something, and I just haven't broke that barrier yet.
I could hear your breathing, by the way, and I could tell that. Rex, could you hear her breathing? And I could hear your breathing at times. It was very kind of like intense, and then it would begin to slow back down.
I will say, and it happened both times. It's interesting that Sue touched on the emotions, because I think I'm picking up emotions of the chat. As soon as I hold the mirror, my body gets really stiff, almost as if I can't move it, and I feel a tightness in my chest. So I don't know if that's maybe what affected my breathing, but
I could hear it.
Yeah.
So I think no matter what we did, I'm going to make sure that this gets written up, because I don't know where we go from here, but I have a sense that this is something that is really going to lead to something else. I got to get used to this whole third eye thing. Where the heck did that come from?
Let me ask a serious question
Wayne.
real quick here, if I can. I'm
sure.
Really interested to hear from all of you. What do you think? How far do you think you can go with these mirrors? I mean, what do you think you can actually see? What do you think you can actually pick up with different dimensions, etc.?
I will answer that for myself. I believe that we are energy. I believe that we emanate energy all the time through emotions, through words. I never understood what mirror gazing was about, how you could actually begin to get into reflective meditation. And I believe that collectively, as we get more experienced with this as a group, it's kind of like riding a bicycle for two. You think it's real easy, but it's not, because you want to get into your own rhythm. So, Rex, I believe that we continue to do this. I'm going to go out and find the experts in the field of both psychology, sociology, and parapsychology to begin to continue to teach us, educate us in what the sciences are showing. I believe that we can come together and collectively open up a portal where we could see into the future. I think we could maybe even go beyond that. That's where I see it. And no one else is doing it.
So you see it as something you can literally see, maybe scenarios in the future that you can either conform to or attempt to divert.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I mean, that's something that I guess even the ancient Hermetics talk about. Hermetics also get into how to communicate with ancestors that have passed also. What do you think, Sandra?
Well, I think that's certainly a possibility. I think my approach or intention with it is the hope that people will actually just start to look at themselves. We can philosophize or about a bunch of different things, but for me, it's more of a practical practice where we start to notice ourselves, self-examination, and turn the reflectors inward. That's what I apply to my life every day. So for me, it was more, I was intrigued by this experiment more for those practical purposes. I'm the type of person who looks at my life and everything I see in my outer world as a reflection of what's going on in my inner world. That, inner worlds, outer worlds, that's how I identify with that. So for me, it was more of a practical practice and will continue to be. And my hope is that other people will look at it, at least from that logical standpoint, if nothing else. Let's start self-examining ourselves, and let's start changing our outer worlds by changing our inner worlds first, because that's really how it happens. I do believe everything is energy. I feel that my gut's telling me that some of the images that want to come through for me in the mirror are probably depictions of maybe people I was in a past life. That's what my gut's saying. But who knows? What I do know is that it's a great exercise to get to know oneself. So for me, that's what that's about.
Right on. That's
Wow.
awesome.
Yeah.
And what about you, Sue?
I think that I like the aspects of the mirror with the more magical aspects, the mirror on the wall. And I know Wayne covered some of this in his video that he did, but I mean, I think there's definitely power in that. That is not something that probably I would ever dabble in either. I'm more like Sandra, where I make it more of a self-awareness exercise, simply because I don't have enough experience with portals and that kind of thing that I would want to mess with. But I am intrigued by the magic aspect of mirrors.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's clearly magic. Listen, it kind of ties into Rex last week when Dr. Miller was on. And listen, you're I'd love to have you tomorrow night as he's on here. But as he said, it looks like science is moving to magic. All logic, all technology is moving to what we call the next phase of ascension. And above technology would be magic. And it seems like mirror gazing for me is a opportunity that allows us, as Sandra, as you were saying, it allows us as humanity to really begin to look within. I mean, you think about this, if communities started to mirror gaze, I wonder how much the crime would begin to drop in the streets. I wonder how much that we begin to see relationships healed. Yeah. Because if it opens a portal that allows us as a species to begin to ascend to that next level, maybe that's what our ancestors were writing us, Rex.
But Rex, I'm sorry, Wayne, what that made me think of is maybe the mirror, let's say the mirror does open a portal, and that portal is us. We are the portal that it opens.
Well said.
The magic in the mirror could very well just be the reflection of the mirror showing us ourselves.
That's magic. That's true magic.
Yeah.
I mean, how many of us really would like to know the real us, the real you? And when I said that, I heard Roger Daltrey singing on The Who. I want to see the real you, doctor. I digress. Hey, I've been a rock and roller since, as a wee and chat. Well, Rex, thank you for being with us on Making History.
At Woodstock, weren't you, Wayne?
My cousin was. What she brought back to us was actually Orange Sunshine. And
Woodstock too.
Yeah, and I remember on the Christmas of 1969 dropping LSD. But anyway, Merry Christmas! Oh, ho ho ho! So,
hey, hello.
So, Rex, before we
see
leave,
the size of that chicken, you see that chicken? You guys see the size of that chicken?
True story.
Why are they killing us? Because we're in the spirit world.
True story. No, I'll share that another time. Well, Rex,
I've
what
got
do you?
Like 14 different black Suburbans in front of my house right now. Okay, thanks a lot, Wayne.
Yeah, I mean, we sent them to you.
I knew it, man. I was like, was this from Wayne? Just a hello.
Little present for you.
Follow me. Come here. White jacket for you, Rex.
Excuse me.
I mean, come on, folks. You got to love this. All right. So let me ask before we go, those of you who've actually monitored the chat room, I haven't. What do you think the overall net result is? Positive, good, bad, what?
From what I've seen, it's been positive, and people have been sharing their experiences. There've been some really awesome. People have seen some really awesome things. I can't see super clearly because I don't have my contacts in, but I feel like overall there were, some people said they had nothing, but I didn't see after the second meditation. Did anybody?
No, the energy was just very apparently. People are just laughing. I mean, there's joy in that chat room. That's what I got to say. And Rex.
Yes, Rex brought the element of laughter. Thank you, Rex.
I mean, that's
anytime. Anytime. Hey, Grandma, can I have some more cookies? Hold on a second. She's making the best cookies. Those are.
Rex, you're a fabulous combination of laughter and amazing information. It's true.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, I feel like
it's because I'm a holographic impression. I'm not even really here. So
I feel like
it's pretty awesome too.
Well, Rex, we appreciate it. I feel like I, paid cover charge and I just won the door prize. It's like, all right, bonus, Sue, thank you for coming on. Sue, I'd like you to come on and do a show on your gifting. I'd like to know, and I think our audience would like a little bit more about what was the word?
Gematria.
Gematria.
Well,
gematria.
It's pronounced different ways. Gematria or gematria. I think some people pronounce it gematria.
Gematria. Yeah. I like that. Now, Rex, I want to say something.
This is Super Mario Brothers too. After level 7.
There you go.
That's what she's talking about.
Even
the reptiles are in Mario Brothers, guys. I'm just saying, they're everywhere. Reptiles.
They are everywhere.
Gematria, Super Mario Brothers, Barney, Sumerian tablets, Genesis, even Wayne shapeshifted the other day. Wayne went into all reptilian mode. Remember that, Wayne?
I do.
Back to you, Rex. I'm having technical difficulties.
I saw that. That was interesting.
I swear to God, I don't know what happened on that. I really don't.
Get this guy a Big Mac. He's more aborted baby cell. Stay informed. Otherwise, they'll shapeshift. Why they do it, How do you think Trump likes him so much?
Oh, laughter does to the heart as a good medicine. That's all I have to say, folks. And you've got a double
reptilian.
All right. I've kept all of you folks longer than I was going to do. Don't leave. Let's go.
Aliens
I want to talk to all of you.
Did it. I'm not saying it's aliens. I'm just
Did he just freeze up? I swear. And the thing about it is, if you look at the hat, it goes black and white. It's like
it's perfect. Oh, boy.
Oh my goodness. Rex, I swear.
Man.
I swear. The people that checked out early, they really missed the closing thing. All right.
Yes, they did.
Rex, by the way, have you seen Sue's Sandra Dee's UFO pictures?
No, but I would absolutely like to see them. Absolutely. Send them to me, leakproject@gmail.com. Anytime I see a UFO or an alien, I'd be really happy. Are they orbs? Or are they like
No, they're
I would definitely
the real deal, I guess. I mean, or they're either, like Wayne said, they're the real deal, whether they're ours or whether they came from somewhere else. We don't know. But they're the real deal.
I went through Photoshop and stripped them out.
I would definitely like to see that.
Yeah. Sandra, I sent those to you, right? The ones that I did, how I did it
I
in photo.
don't think you did,
All
Wayne.
right.
No.
I'll send those to you.
Sure.
Now, I'll get those to you. Rex, you really ought to have Sandra Dee on the show. It's she's got a story that your listeners ought to hear. Just that's a shameless
Yeah,
plug.
absolutely. That'd be great.
Okay.
Shameless plug.
Yeah, shameless plug. And Sue G, you're going to come on, and I want you to really do that. Maybe let's talk and let's get you on. I'd like to get that on.
Okay.
All right.
I'll do my own shameless plug real quick. I did offer up a free energy sort of intuitive reading, and I work with, and not necessarily psychic reading, but work with the energy that you have going on right now. And I haven't filled all my spots left. I have about four
All right,
left.
folks.
You can
4
email me
left.
to ftx@gmail.com, or I do have a channel also.
What is that? Please tell us.
I think it's just Sue G. I haven't gotten fancy yet with the name, so yeah, it's just Sue G. And I've got I've put a few videos up, so you can contact me there also if you can't find me on. I'll put my email in the chat room.
Please do. And of course, Rex Bear Leak Project. By the way, Rex, I'll give you a shameless plug. If you have a story of an unusual nature, I would say, then send it to Rex. If he picks it up, be well worth it.
Leakproject@gmail.com.
It is.
Yeah, leakproject@gmail.com.
Okay. All right. Before you stay,
Yeah,
shapelifter. Stay on before or after we go off. Everyone, be kind to everyone. You've made history here tonight. We're going to continue. Email me your stories, because I'd like to get a list of what people really had, what you really thought, and we'll see if we'll do this again. I can guarantee we will. All right, folks, be kind to one another. We will talk to all of you really soon.